Peace, everybody.
It's a paparazzi.
And you're on. There you go.
Okay. I have.
All right, thank you so much once again for coming all the way here. We'll be doing a lot of labs as much as possible. Not the best organized way of doing it, but sometimes you have to take it what you can get, and then manage with the resources we may have. So that should not still stop us from learning, and we will still do some good work here, right? Okay. So that said, over here we have two stacks of devices. These devices are routers and switches. We can also have firewalls added. We can have wireless access points. We are also trying to get an access server. I'm not very sure if they have received that yet, the order. And that must be pending by now due to the supply chain problems, So we will still start working with whatever we have here. If you will agree that even one simple switch has so much that we can do with it, that we can spend days, right, learning how to manage a switch. So we will start with one of the switches called 2960. It's a Catalyst switch. Catalyst was a company that was bought by Cisco at one time. Cisco started with routing. They were big in routing. They became so big that one time they owned like 80% of the internet share, the market share, including all kinds of devices and technologies that Cisco provided. And then they started buying smaller companies or other successful companies. Those were in networking business. So Catalyst is one of them. Linksys is another one. And there are many. Okay. So we know that anytime you see a switch that carries the same name, Catalyst, that is a Cisco switch, number one. Number two, it will also take all of the Cisco commands from Cisco iOS. The Cisco iOS is the operating system of Cisco as a proprietary operating system for their devices. What are their devices? Their devices mostly include switches, routers, firewalls, and nowadays, up to now, they have tons of equipment that they manufacture or they also sell it. So all these devices are going to have Cisco iOS. No matter where you go in the world, no matter which company or business you will be working with, you will encounter Cisco technologies all over. So it's a good idea to learn about Cisco technologies, not only for the course that we are trying to complete, that you are trying to pass. We will be also needing these technologies in the time to come after you complete your course. The good news is, whatever you learn here, a lot of things Cisco tried to keep generic. Generic means that it should apply to other, equipment and whatever other technologies are available. So, for example, if you have a network where you don't see just Cisco devices, but you also see another brand there. For example, HP is very much there, a competition, and there are many more. So whatever you learn here, sometimes it can be used just as it is, or sometimes with little modification, like the commands may be a little different and method may be a little different, but it will still benefit you what you will learn here in the coming time. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do is we will have somebody step forward and make sure you connect a power cord from a 2960 switch, which is the smallest of them all. So Kevin, would you like to see if there is a power cord in the back of the second device from top? Thank you. And on this side, we can have someone join us here. Nicholas, would you like to come, or anybody? You can come. Simple. You are the slimmest, so you can fit here. Now the job is to find a power cord. Is it already connected? If not, then we will give you one. Power cords are mostly, if you see the switches, take a look here. Anytime you see a device with a lot of ports, that device is possibly a switch. And if you see a device with very few ports, ports are the interfaces that you connect your cables and connectors, right? If there are just a few, most likely it is a router. So notice that this one is a router, and the devices below, all of them are switches. Okay? Now, we will start with this device first, 2960. And if you already have a power cord, if that's good. If you don't have one, go to the box, please. The box by the wall. Oh, you found one. Okay, cool. So let's connect the power. Most of the times, these devices, networking devices, we also call them intermediate devices, right? They will have their power connection mostly on the opposite side of where the ports are. So notice that over here, this device has all of the ports here, right? But there is a power connection possible on this side. And did we connect it yet? Yep. To the power strip? Yep. It is connected. Can you please check if the power strip is turned on? There should be a switch on by the side, I think.
This one was working.
Got it.
See if that's on. Make sure the devices are on. Okay.
Now that we turned the power on, you can see that the switch should turn on.
Yep.
And I'm not seeing any light here.
There's a light on the side here, I can see.
You see it's working?
Yeah, green lights.
Okay.
Nothing
All right.
Yeah.
So most of the indicators are in front a lot of times. And sometimes they don't have a lot that you can see, but this has a blinking light here. So let me show you. So the moment it starts blinking here, it's trying to get ready for the work, right? So in a few minutes, this light should slide, down, and it should give you a ready status, I should say. And it's still trying. Okay. So the other, indicators are for a bunch of other things, including the speed and other things, right?
This status button is on.
Yeah,
Oh, there
it's
we
still
go.
working.
Okay, ours
Yeah.
is good. Alright.
All right. So do you see a similar set of indicators
He only
lit
has
over
two,
there?
he only has two. He has the first and third light.
System and,
Okay.
stuck to it.
Ours are all good.
It takes a little bit of time when the
I
switches
think it's still loading
boot,
up.
they take time. So if you have a laptop connected, then it will start telling you what's going on the switch.
So we should connect the laptop now?
Now will be a good
Sometimes you have to
time.
take the cover off and put like a
To
screwdriver in the
connect
carburetor, or no,
the-
it's something else.
So I'm,
Yeah,
yeah.
we have a Cisco cable.
Okay.
Can you please,
Whoops. Oh.
can you please give us one of the,
Which one?
Cables.
USB
Which one? The black one?
serial, both together.
This one?
It's a
Yeah,
rollover, correct?
So my friend, let me show you first. Notice that this blue cable is the Cisco cable. They call it Cisco cable. It's also called a rollover cable, and it has a 9-pin serial connector. In olden days, every computer used to have a serial port, right?
Yeah.
But with the new laptops, all those are gone. What we have now is USB port, right?
So that will
So-
connect to the
Converter.
console,
Hmm?
right? This will connect with the console, that's what.
Right. So what we need to do is connect this adapter cable. This is an adapter cable. What does it adapt to? It adapts the serial connector or the serial connection to a USB. So don't think that this is just a plastic kind of housing here for the connector. Actually inside there are chips. So there is some little circuit board with some chips on it, and that chipset does the job of that adaptation or translation or conversion. So we need to connect them together. So go ahead please, you may like to do it. Yes.
Does using adapters add any sort of variable to the connection where it won't be as strong or introduce into errors or loss or anything? Because I always feel like a direct cable without an adapter would be ideal. But is that just what I think, or is that an actual truth? That adapters add an extra layer of variables?
The problem is,
Can we plug it in now?
yeah, please go ahead. The problem is that the signals, those travel on the USB bus, are not the same as what travel on the other serial
Plug it
cable,
into the USB.
because the pinup is different, USB pinup is different. So it needs some kind of a conversion, right? A converter.
Yeah, but converting it, does that add a chance for having some sort of error?
No, they are done perfectly done. And if you may like to see something,
So,
okay,
his,
yeah.
his, switch only has 2 lights still.
Uh-oh.
Well, our switch only has 2
This
lights.
one also
Oh,
has
then
2.
you're good.
So let me explain, my friends. 2 is good, right?
Mhm.
2. These lights will be first and the third. Once they go through the booting process, the lights will go all over, right? Because it's doing everything, like checking the speed, it's checking everything else, is working. So all that process completes when there are 2 static lights. Okay? So if you see 2 static lights, first and third on a Cisco switch, that's a good indication. That means it's a good working switch. Now, notice that this is a different cable here. You see it has a USB port and a direct RJ45K connector here.
Yeah.
So all that interconnection is now built into this little connector housing. Everything is here. This is newer technology. Okay, we'll explain you more about that. So in that case, we may not need this 2 cable, type of connection. But this may be later. That we will next time we will explain you how this one works. For the time being, this is a good way of learning, because this is the usual way you will find many places do the work this way. Okay. Now, what you need on your computer is a software. I don't know if you already have that. That is called Teraton.
Do you have putty?
No, this is completely just, I've only installed things that the class told me to install.
Yeah,
Okay.
it basically,
Do you have?
it gave a
USB?
choice between using Terraterm or
I do.
Putty or
You wanna use
some
it?
SSH, right?
yeah,
And
if
I
you
just
have a
did the other
USB,
one, I didn't bother
I'll
with the
give you that.
Terraterm.
So then, so my friends, what did we do up to now?
I might have some software on my computer that'll work. We can use.
You have Teraton?
I
What
have
is
a
that?
USB.
No, not Terraterm. I think I might have putty on there.
I have a
Putty can
USB.
work, but let's
I have a
try.
version of USB.
You have a USB.
Yeah, it's brand new.
For the moment, because it's already set up here, let me grab that and we'll go around.
Nothing on it, it's brand new.
Thank you.
I'm not gonna go there.
Okay.